Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gian Javelona, and I'm the founder and CEO of OrangeApps. And I'm really honored to be here. I'm so happy to be here in front of you to share our story. So today, I would like to share you a crazy story on how we started our company by building it without any resources, but only having this dream. A dream that one day, we Filipinos could build a tech company that could scale globally. Again, I've been asking myself, when I was a kid, why is it that there's no Facebook and Google that was born in the Philippines? Why can't we build something like that? So that's why we built OrangeApps. And all of these ideas started when I was actually a kid. When I was a kid, I was like 3 or 5 years old. I was exposed with computers. And this was a very marvelous opportunity to me because I actually destroyed that computer. And because I was really curious, like how it works and how was the programs made. And I told myself one day I want to build a computer just like that or build games in the future. So when I started going to college, I actually went to PUP, our Polytechnic University of the Philippines. And when I was studying, like we don't have any resources. Like most of the time, we're taking a class in a basketball court because there's no available classroom. And sometimes we need to share like one computer with 8 students just to learn programming. And I remember the problem that I faced wherein I need to fall in line for like 3 to 4 hours just to enroll to my school. And actually in this picture, I'm actually there, that one. And I need to fall in line. And imagine if I went to the cashier already and became offline, I need to go home again and then wait for another schedule. So it's really a pain, right? So what I did was, because I'm a programmer, I believe I could solve that. So I remember during those times, smartphones are actually becoming bigger and bigger. And I started learning how to code Android development using YouTube and also Google search. And I don't have a phone, but I do have a laptop. So I was actually just borrowing my classmate's Android phone just to test the mobile app. And the idea was, using your phone, you could actually enroll to your school quickly. You could get updates right away. And we're actually aggregating all the social media news so that if there's no class, we know. That was the initial pain that I have. So I launched the mobile application, and I call it the PUP mobile app. And when I launched it, I didn't ask for any permission. I was actually accessing the school existing infrastructure. It's a server base. It's an old software. It's very laggy. So I penetrated that. And technically, my teachers were mad at me because I did that, but I don't care. And I still launched it. And suddenly, the president of the school asked for a meeting and asked me, like, how can we make money from this idea? And because of that, I told myself, maybe I could actually start selling this idea to other schools. So what happened was, I started doing marketing. So I printed like posters of the applications that I made. I went to different colleges and also in Menjola. But a lot of schools are not actually entertaining me because I didn't know that I need to send like proposal letters. So I'm just a programmer and I don't know how to do that. But I actually learned. And there was this time wherein I got featured in TV5 because of that application that I made. And suddenly, I got the chance to meet Chot Reyes. So Chot Reyes is the CEO of TV5 and he's the head coach of Gilas Pilipinas. And because I'm a big basketball fan, I actually went to him and pitched my idea to him for just like 5 minutes. And I told him, I'm Gian Javelona, I'm 19 years old, and I'm the CEO of OrangeApps. And my vision is to empower education through innovation. And he told me, okay, Gia, I'm going to help you, but in exchange, I need to be a shareholder of your company. And I said, yes, even though I don't really understand what a shareholder means. And the next day, he actually invited me to this meeting in Makati. And this is the first time I saw a boardroom. And I don't know what a boardroom is. And as you can see, I'm so thin. I'm so young there. That's me. And I didn't know who that guy is before. And Chot Reyes told me to pitch my idea to him. And again, I did. And I told him, I'm 9 years old, I'm CEO of OrangeApps, and this is my vision. And initially, they were asking me, like, is your company registered in SEC? And I asked myself, I don't know what SEC means. But I'm telling them I'm a CEO of a company. Well, technically, that's the place where you register your company, right? And they were asking me, like, do you have business permits, taxes and stuff? I don't know those things, but I told them, all I know is I have a product, and I have this dream to build a company, and I know I could sell it. And suddenly, they actually helped me start the company. They incorporated the company. They incubated me through IdeaSpace. And I didn't get the chance to pursue my 4th year and 5th year because this is the dream that I wanted to pursue. And I remember my parents were actually mad at first, but a mentor told me that the difference of doing it now compared next 2 years after you graduate is going to be really different, right? So the opportunity is there. And one thing I learned there is there's no risk in trying, only regret. So I took that path, started a real company with SEC papers, and now a legitimate CEO. But I need a partner. So this is my partner, that's JJ. He graduated multimedia arts, but he's doing our back-end office, like financials, legal, all the financial part, like SSS, pag-ibig, all the back-end operations. And he was my high school buddy, and we started the company together. We started in my house. We went to different schools, but the initial idea of tapping to existing schools didn't actually succeed because a lot of schools actually doesn't have any software. Most of them are still using papers, and most of them are using Excel. So it was difficult for us. And because I'm a millennial, I want to succeed really fast. And I've seen all this Coursera, Khan Academy in the US, and I told myself, what if I could build that here in the Philippines? So I pivoted. So I changed the idea. I went to building that. Of one day, you could actually just study online. Because there's a huge skill set, there's a huge gap in terms of the skills that it's needed in the industry. I told myself, okay, we're going to create a school online, get partner teachers to create online, and suddenly we launched it, and then we were featured, and we have success stories, like this guy telling us that the product that we built is the future, and we got students like, I don't know if you've heard about the Yolanda tragedy before. We have students there that was actually they were actually a victim of that flood, and they were able to study online because of us. But I didn't do any market research. I don't know how to do business again. All I know is how to build. And honestly, I actually failed that product because a lot of people doesn't have the capability to pay online because they don't have credit cards, right? They don't want to pay online to study. They could just go to YouTube and learn for free. So technically, I failed. I have wrong tech partners. So that's my first failure, actually. The second failure is actually this one. So when we built the online learning, I thought maybe I should change my business model to more of a B2B model. So I went to the public school route. So we got at least 600 schools by that time, and then we got an investor. And at first it was successful, and we got a lot of schools. They were happy. They're now starting to create their online classes online. Then we got schools not just in Manila, but also in Mindanao and Visayas. And we got feedbacks like this. But suddenly, a business lesson for me, don't just run for money. Don't look for money. Look for the right people, the right partners. And my investors actually, we didn't work together really well. They actually copied the product that I've built, in short. And they created their own, then they actually sold it on their self. So the lesson there is don't look for just the money. Look for the right partners and build the right product. And that's my failure number 2. I'm telling you these stories because most of the people are actually just telling the success stories, but I want to tell you the failures behind those success stories, okay? All of those failures actually taught me a lot of things. And I believe that's the reason why I'm here right now in front of you. So after those mistakes, now I actually went back to my core. Core wherein the reason why we started the company. The reason how I got to start OrangeApps. So in education, I realized there hasn't been a change in a lot of years. Like the last 1930s, this is the way how school works. And now it's still the same. And in terms of enrolling or doing school administration, this is the way it works before, and until now it looks the same. So I've been asking myself, there's been a lot of advancement in terms of AI, machine learning, self-driving cars, but in education, it's still Jurassic World. And I wanted to change that. So I've seen this article, and it caught my attention. There's this school wherein a lot of students need to stay there overnight just to get their slot or their classes. Imagine that. And someone got raped because of that. I'm not going to tell the name of the school. But they actually bought a software that cost them around 750 million pesos. Server-based, no mobile app. They need to maintain it. They need to secure it. And this is what it looks like. When they launch it, it crashed. It took them 4 or 5 years just to implement it. So I've realized that there's really a huge pain in terms of this, and there's no one solving it. So I told myself, maybe this is the right time because of all the pains that I have. And I've also seen a lot of schools purchasing different kinds of software, like LMS and SIS, a payment gateways, data analytics. All of these softwares are different. And all of this, they need to maintain it on their own. So I told myself, maybe what if we could actually build a platform wherein they could actually just subscribe to us and they'll have a software right away. And that's what we did. We built a platform. The school will subscribe to us. There's no cost to them. It's a subscription model. And everything that they need, they could use it right away. And just to show you a quick screenshots or a quick demo, this is what it looks like. I got my first deal with a global innovative college without really knowing how to sell it, because initially I was asking them what are their problems. And as you could see, I don't know really how to sign a memorandum of agreement. So the CEO of that school is teaching me how to do that. And I was actually just showing him the screenshots of what we built. It's just Adobe Photoshop at first. And then I got to sell it, and then the initial money, we actually use it to build the product. So we saw the product without the product yet. But they bought it, so it's a validation. And I need to find good talents in my company, and I got my partner, our CTO, Waltz. Initially, we were working in my partner's house. As you can see, there's an electric fan, and it's too hot there. The next day, he didn't went back to the office because it's too hot. But that guy really helped me build the product that we have right now. And now we have an office, and we call this office a hacker house because it's an office and it's a house. So literally, our developers live there because the problem in the Philippines is traffic. So we killed those problems already. So they'll just work there, sleep, work, sleep, code, because that's what they love to do. Sleep, code, and eat. That's what they love to do. And to prove that, this is a photo. As in, literally, I've told them stories about Silicon Valley companies before. There's this company named Box.com, wherein when they were starting, like all of the developers, all of them are sleeping below their tables. And they were just laughing initially, and it happened to us as well. Because we do usually hackathons. We build stuff really fast. And they told me, instead of them going home or going to the province, because most of our employees are from the province, they'll just stay in the office and they'll just work there. So as you can see, a lot of devs are already working, but there's this kid who's still sleeping. And at nights, we have what you call, do you know Counter-Strike? We have those. We have Counter-Strike nights, Dota nights. So we do still play because we want to maintain that culture of having fun while working. And last year as well, we've seen a lot of pains. Like every day we have broken chairs. We have broken computers. Like this girl, in order for her to open her Mac, she really needs to open like literally the back of the Mac just to switch it on. Imagine that. And another computer, like every day this happens to us. And suddenly when we're starting to grow, when we got more and more clients, we got the chance to buy them resources that they actually need. We got them like external monitors, and we got them computers, working computers, not broken screens, and fixtures, of course. And we got featured at Forbes as well. And from one school, from all those failures, we got now a lot of clients, a lot of schools subscribing to us and helping them to actually operate their school more efficiently. And this is actually what it looks like. We build an app, a customized mobile app for each school, their own name, their own brand. If the school or the student doesn't have a phone, there's a web version, wherein using that mobile application, they could enroll to school, check their grades, pay their tuition fee anywhere, like BDO, Bayad Center, 7-Eleven. And they could also study using their phones, answer homeworks. And for the school, they could actually use data analytics to predict, analyze, and adapt to these changes that we provide to them. There's really a huge cost savings to them because they don't need papers anymore, ink, labor, servers. They just need an internet and our software, and they could run the school right away. So this is actually the schools, two schools that we're launching this week, World City Colleges and Manila Waldorf International School. And these are some of the feedbacks of our schools, some teachers and some students. And this is what happened to their school already. Before, for announcements, they do bulletin boards. Now they just have an app. They'll be notified right away. And for the school, for the teachers, in order for them, like before, they need to check the papers one by one. Now they don't need to do that. Once the students submit their activities, they'll get a score right away. So it saves them a lot of time. And it's a pain for the teachers, actually. And it should be not just my story, because we have a lot of amazing stories inside our company. This kid is actually 17 years old. He's actually working for us full-time. And he didn't get the chance to pursue his K-12 because of the K-12 transition also, and because of the problem financially. But this kid actually codes really well, and he's from Pampanga. He messaged me on Facebook that he wants to learn how to code. I told him to visit us, and he's now working full-time. If you visit our website, he's the guy who created that website. He codes web, mobile, and started to learn how to do artificial intelligence, right? And there's this guy named Zeus. He's from Batangas. He actually worked for a palenque. He used to carry rice, and he's now a coder, right? He codes really good. Our mobile app, he's the guy who built that. This guy, are you guys familiar with balot? This guy was a former balot vendor, and he now codes. He went to our office because he really wants to learn how to code, and because he's actually looking for a tech company in the Philippines. And I told him, just join us and we'll help you. And before, he's a balot vendor, now he codes really good. This guy, he's from Tacloban. He's one of the guys that was a victim of Yolanda. He's actually a pedicab driver before, but now he codes really well. And he went to our office and is now working for us full-time. And this guy, John Ignacio, he's actually from New York. He's not a pedicab driver or a balot vendor, but he's actually a doctor of education. And because we're an ed tech company or education tech company, we need that. And he saw our story. He was actually working for Google part-time before, but he actually quit Google and is now working for us and helping us scale the company. And he's actually here at the back there. So hi, John. So these people behind me, it shouldn't be just me. It should be my team, our story. And the company started with just me and my partner, but now we're like 20 plus people, I think around 30 already. And we have these crazy stories behind the company, and all of them experience the same problem that I have. And they're now working with us because they wanted to solve that problem. And as you can see, it's not just the technology that we're building, we're also solving a problem in terms of providing hope to this country. Like these kids, before, they look like they don't have an option. Like they're just gonna sell balot or just do pedicab or work in a palenque. But now, because they could actually see that there's hope of what we're actually doing, they wanted to join us. That's actually the reason why we're doing what we're doing. We're building something in education, but we're also helping other people to get jobs and learn from us. Because in the future, I want them to build their own companies as well. And as you can see, every problem that we have in this country, the root cause is all in education, right? And we wanted to use our software to change their mindset, to change the mindset of the school owners or the IT people in the school to adapt to these changes. You've seen 3-year-old kids and 5-year-old kids who knows how to use an iPad and an iPhone. But when they enter school, it's Jurassic World. So we need to help the schools to adapt to these changes, and we're doing that. And I think the last words that I could tell you guys is find purpose in your work. My purpose is really not just to build a company, but also to provide hope in this country, that we Filipinos could build a tech company, not just in the Philippines, and it could actually scale globally. So thank you so much, and I hope you learned something from me. Thank you.